I am Aaron, and welcome to the Cult of Cinema and day two in the 31 days of mostly live horror, where I don't just review a movie, we discuss it, we talk about it, we talk about movies that are related to it, and we talk about stuff that is going on right now. So today is kind of a special day because I got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I have an unboxing to show you guys. I got a new item come today from Amazon. Hey there, William. I am going to talk about a streaming service that apparently, hey there, Vanessa, a lot of people were not aware of. So, hey there, Daniel. There's so much to talk about on here today. So, where do we start? Do you want to start with the infamous Claudio Fragasso film? Would you guys like to see what I picked up? Or would you like to talk about the stream? Maybe we should leave the streaming thing till after, because the streaming one's going to be kind of interesting. That's one that surprised a lot of people, I think. Hey there, Dave. Apparently, I know about it because I don't have a life and I keep up with things like this. Pickups. Want to start the pickups? It's actually one pickup, so it's going to be pretty simple. You may know this one, Daniel. Daniel obviously does the awesome Cobwebs podcast, which you all should be subscribed to, and he talked about some films from a particular company. He did a whole Dark Castle series, and he was nice enough to have me on one of those Dark Castle episodes, which is obviously the favorite episode. We'll go with that. Anyway, so I picked up a Dark Castle release from Screen Factory, and it is Ghost Ship. So, hey there, Mid Level Media, welcome, man. Have you picked up Ghost Ship yet? So this is a movie that, for me, remember when hey there, Dirk. Now Dirk does VHS, which I'm sure all you guys are checking out as well. You finally pre-ordered the Friday 13th set. It's going to be a good set. So back in the day, there was a show called, some of you guys won't remember, some of you guys will, called Happy Days. So if you've ever heard the term jumping the shark, of a TV show that jumped the shark, uh, that comes because basically Ghost Ship, because on Happy Days, they pretty much felt like they ran out of ideas when they had Fonzie in Hollywood water skiing over a shark with his leather jacket on. So that was the thing that happened. And since then, it's been a term that's been used for any TV show that kind of brings in a kid that all of a sudden that they never had before, or a relative that you didn't realize, or it just has gotten long in the tooth. It's not really, it's gone past its end date. Its glory days are gone past. It's called jumping the shark. So made up by me. Who knows? Maybe it'll catch on. A film that does something early on, or does something to a point where basically they set up an expectation, or they do something so wild and extravagant at the beginning of the film, or through somewhere in the film, that there's no way that you can get a payoff for it that's going to be even remotely satisfying. That's called doing a Ghost Ship. Feel free to use it. Tag me if you do. Because for those that have seen this film, you know that Ghost Ship does a Ghost Ship. The beginning of this film is insane. It starts out with one of these just bafflingly great opening sequences that, in all honesty, you can't. There's nowhere to go from there. There's never gonna be a point when you're watching Ghost Ship and you're like, yeah, they can do. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna get into the Arrow streaming app in a little bit, but the first month is free, and I've got good news for you in that it is not going to cost. Hey there, Alan. Like Criterion does, it's going to be much cheaper. That's the thing, Dirk. Most people love the opening of Ghost Ship and don't remember the rest. So here is the artwork that you're probably more used to, and even this is fantastic artwork. So get this while the slip is still available, because you get the excellent artwork on the slip here. This, which by the way, with the blue case, this does look pretty brilliant. Feature-wise on her, there are some new features. The new audio commentary with director Steve Beck, new interviews with producer Gil Adler, actor Isaiah Washington, and special effects makeup artist Jason Bard. There's like Max on set, Ghost Ship, Secrets of the Antonio Graza, a closer look at the gore, designing the Ghost Ship, and Mudvayne Not Falling music video. I don't remember Mudvayne very well as a band, so I'm guessing they're probably one of those kind of like 2000s, 90s era, 2000s era, kind of like maybe heavy metalish bands. If Death Ship was here, you'd know a bit more about them. So I will probably be either reviewing this film on itself, or I'll be doing a Daniel, and I'll be talking about Dark Castle Entertainment sometime. You were awesome? Okay. That's good to know, Blue Corner, because I honestly do not remember. So a lot of you, so I'm getting some talk about the streaming one. So do you want to go into like, you want to go into Night Killer right away? Hey there, Death Bomb. Or I just mentioned it actually. Or do you guys want to talk about the big streaming service announcement that's on the go right now? See, you're younger than me, though, Vanessa. I'm an old fogey, so that's kind of the thing there. Hey, sure. All right, Italian Don. Let's do that first. We'll do Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 in a minute. Um, so on the 1st of October, Arrow Video, well, a couple days before, Arrow Video announced big what I thought was big news. Hey there, Scalder. Arrow Video were putting out an app for their own streaming service, and I was like, man, that's good for the UK in the Ritz. But here's the thing: this isn't for the UK. This is a North American streaming service. So if you live in the US or Canada, like I'm sure you get some like stuff from Amazon if you live in the UK already. They're apparently working on doing an app for the UK, but that's coming in 2021. So this isn't the streaming service that you would have seen over in the UK. This isn't that one. This is a newer one that they did. Price point for it, by the way, is, are you ready for this? Are you ready for the price point? Because you're gonna love this. The same as Shudder. The price point for Arrow Video is $4.99. They have curated stuff. Now I was asked before I came on. I was asked, so I collect physical media. Like, what does streaming matter to me? I've got a lot of stuff in the background anyway. For me, a streaming service makes me buy more. It really does, because I see it as like as a way to, like, if there's something that I'm not sure about, there's very rarely do I ever watch a movie on a streaming service and I'm like, nope, I'm not buying that. If I get to the point that I'm interested enough to watch the film, I'm probably going to buy it, especially if it's like something like an Arrow or like a Vinegar Syndrome or Scream Factory. How could they possibly make any money that way? Well, they'll make. Hey there, Ron. Welcome. They'll make money in a couple ways. One, people like me that are going to see a lot of these films on here, they're going to look at stuff, and they're going to go out and they're going to buy the stuff afterwards. Two, to make just the regular streaming money, the revenue, like the licensing and stuff like that. They did something extremely smart. So I'm going to show you a couple of screenshots before I actually show you the streaming service itself. Because I did actually, although this iPad that I'm using to film with is normally what I watch my stuff on. So here are a couple shots from Arrow's streaming service. To give you like an idea. Of some of the stuff. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to go over this a little bit in more detail. You see there's things here. You can see Children of the Corn right there. Elvira, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jose Larraz's Edge of the Axe, which I want to buy, but I can't afford it right now, so I'm going to watch it here until I can get it. You see things like Microwave Massacre. Uh, we got Crystal Eyes here. Many of these titles I've seen, but some I really want to see. There's the George Romero one, uh, Mulberry Street. But okay, let's get to this because there's one really neat thing that I want to talk about. They have something called Arrow Stories, and what Arrow Stories is, it's features that are on different Arrow releases. So I'll open it up here. So for instance, I really want to pick up Henry George Clouzot's Inferno. It was like later kind of documentary slash film that was made by the great Clouzot, and that's something that I really want to get. It's on here, but I'm going to want the features as well. So I'm going to want to buy the film. I'm not just going to want to watch it. For instance, they put pretty much the entire Herschel Gordon Lewis feast on here. So if you're a fan of Herschel Gordon Lewis or you just wanted to check him out and say you haven't, they not only put like most of the films on here, if not all of them, they actually. Am I including 31 Days Horror? Well, this is sort of. This is definitely a streaming thing, uh, and I will be doing a physical one as well. Because you don't have everything. Not everybody has everything in their collection, and I'm pretty sure everybody doesn't have every Arrow video in their collection, and it's a great way to start. Any feature? While I feature any full moon productions, I will be doing one full moon release this month actually. One of the neat things about here, hey Sumo, uh, is that look at this. You see that? So that is interviews, featurettes. There's documentaries on here. Not every documentary, but there's a 60-minute interview with Stephen Thrower on the Goro Girls. There's a 10-minute interview with Stephen Thrower talking about the Wizard of Gore. One with Jeffrey Caston talking about the Gore the Merrier. Sorry, Jeremy Caston. There are things here called and we have people that are like they pick directors to curate, so much like Criterion does, right? So who did he start with? Well, Edgar Wright is the first curator for Vinegar for Vinegar from Arrow Video. So basically, the films that Edgar Wright chose are films like movies like Edition, Reanimator, Blood and Black Lace, Cat o' Nine Tails, The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Beyond Suspicion, Death Walks at Midnight, Torso, Death Walks on High Heels, Deep Red, Don't Torture Ducklings, Sarcomania, Inferno, Ringu. There's a ton. There's an Arrow Central Slasher collection here, where you can watch like films like The Ring, The Wind, and Colobas, and of course Edge of the Axe, Crystal Eyes, which I don't remember if I've seen quite or not. They have a lot of the Gamera ones on here. The Gamera actually they have Gamera all 12 actually. Hey there, Dustin. They have Gamera the complete collection. And trust me, if you're somebody and you don't own the Gamera set and you start watching stuff like Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, or Gamera Revenge Virus, and you're really getting into these, you're gonna want to buy the set. That's the thing. It's fantastic to have these here for this, but it's gonna it's gonna tempt people into buying some of these releases. Sister Street Fighter is on here for people like the martial arts stuff. Warning from Space is on here. Tetsu the Iron Man is here. We got The Coming of Sin, Vampires, which I do own, Video Man, Cold Light of Day, Lake Michigan Monster, Deadbeat at Dawn, which I actually already have in. Dark Water is on here, the original Dark Water. Malatesta's Carnival of Blood. It's a great way to start this. And if you are, for instance, any animated movies, I don't see any anime ones on here so far, but this is only the first month, Josephine. So, and I don't think Arrow Video has a lot of animated stuff in their collection. I'm going to be talking about One Missed Call on here during the I'm going to be talking about One Missed Call, and basically the if you're interested in like watching One Missed Call and you don't have the box set, the set that Arrow Video put out, then it is here on the streaming service. So it's free for a month. I'm gonna check it out for a month, see if I like it, see what they're. It's gonna be curated definitely every. Hey there, Jordan. Definitely every month. So this is the curation for the October month. Arrow TV series. It'll be interesting to see what they're gonna do with this. I'm very curious about some of these films, some of these releases. They even have like Arrow trailers here, uh, which you can actually watch to get you excited about some of the Arrow films. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this whole thing? Are any of you going to be grabbing the service? Going to be trying it? I'm going to open up my YouTube now so I can actually see what you guys are saying. Yeah, behind. Oh, see, for me, like for that, the free month, really good. I'm gonna try for November. Um, for me, like I definitely need it for October. There's a couple releases that I don't quite have yet from Arrow, and I want to talk about Jose Larez. Have watched Star Trek Lower Decks, only the first episode, and I did like it. Um, but I've only watched the. I want to talk about Larez, and I haven't seen Edge of the Axe in a long time, and with everything coming this month, I'm not going to be able to afford to get Edge of the Axe, so probably January. So this will give me a chance to watch that film as well because I want to do a Larez Day, and for that's there's another reason, George, when it comes in handy. But there you go. That's the Arrow streaming app, and it looks amazing. Monster Monday, Terrifying Tuesday, Witchcraft Wednesday. I like these. Thrills Day, Freaky Friday, Satanic Saturday, Supernatural Sunday. See, Warlock, I'm a combination. I got to do a bit of both because I always have the movies that I know it seems like I got a lot, but a lot of my movies, unfortunately, right now, including some of my Arrow releases, are over Morocco. So that becomes a bit of an issue for me. Uh, I have some like two cannibal films actually coming uh, from basically from Severin, from their the Cruelest Jaws month. Uh, but then I said this is perfect. I'm not big on cannibal films. I can watch the cannibal movie documentary that I got, and then I can watch the two films. I'll talk a little bit about about the video nasty era as well. It'll make for a great video. It'll make for a good conversation. Then I looked and I realized, you know what I did? I took that documentary and I with the film with the documentary, and I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna be watching this movie anytime in the near future, so I'll bring it with to Morocco," and I did, and crap. You like the Holy Mountain? Like and not everybody loves like Alejandro, but I do like his stuff. So, are we going to continue with this chat, or are we going to go right into Night Killer? Uh, Streaming is not owning. Don't owning is owning. This this means I own it. If I buy this on iTunes, I still don't own it. I do have Bloody Birthday here. Actually, I got the 88 Films edition. I love that film. Great cast, actually. Surprisingly underrated cast. So, who here has seen Night Killer? I just want to get that part out of the way. Obviously, Warlock's seen. He says a good release. So, Dustin, you've seen it. Okay, so Night Killer, or as some people know it, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I'm glad you did Blood Harvest. I'm proud of you, Ron. And I was asked yesterday why this was called Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Why that was the alternate title. And it's really just simple. It's that over in Italy, they often would take the names of popular films and like make like fake kind of mock sequels for them. Oh, George, want to check out? Uh, and this one, and this is, by the way, George, this is a region free release. So even though you live in the UK, this is from Severin Films and it's a region free release. But they would often take titles of films that were unrelated and put them on there. Shocking Dark became Terminator 2 before there was a Terminator 2. A Night Killer became Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and a Cruel Jaws became Jaws 5 because they could market it that way over there as best as they could. It was kind of sketchy, but trying not to get in trouble. Now, this is a bit of a hodgepodge of a film. Let's let's talk about this for a second. By the way, you're gonna notice that some of this here looks like it kind of doesn't make sense. We have a basic story, which is basically there's this girl who who sends her daughter off with some neighbors, and then she's attacked by this strange masked man who has these rubbery, like Freddy Krueger fingers, or Freddy Krueger's like claws were made out of like rubber instead of like steel. Uh, and she's assaulted by him, and she lives, but she's got complete amnesia. She doesn't remember anything about her life, her daughter, or her friends, or family. She doesn't remember anything. So that's where it should start. That's not where it starts. When Night Killer was made by Claudio Fragasso, Fragasso had wanted to do something different. Night Killer, I kid you not, uh, was Fragasso wanting to make an artistic film, an art film, like a Fellini or a Bergman style film, and hide it inside of a horror motif. In a way, Night Killer was kind of Fragasso's Scenes of a Marriage. If I were killing a slasher movie, what kind of knife would I, or sword would I use? Oh no, I like the good old fashioned. What happened when I was a kid? Like the machete. Like when I was a kid, not for killing, for like trees and stuff. Uh, but yeah, so he had meant to do like make it kind of like Bergman esque. So Night Killer is meant to be an artistic film, a Bergman type film. Now the producers of the film were not exactly pleased with the outcome of Night Killer, what Claudio Fragasso had done. So they wanted to add a bit more to it. So Bruno Mattei was the guy that pretty much edited most of Claudio Fragasso's work. There was like three people that worked together all the time. There was Claudio Fragasso, Rosabella Drudy, Rosabella Drudy, and Bruno Mattei. They were pretty much giant at the hip. They would work on each other's films, write, direct, edit, that type of thing. So when the producer went behind Fragasso's back to let to talk to Bruno Mattei and say, "Hey, we want you to add some scenes to this film, and this is kind of the style that we want." That didn't go over too well with Fragasso, and especially with the fact that he found it later on, and we're gonna get to that Italian Dan. So the movie actually starts not where it's supposed to start, with the mother getting her child ready to be taken out by the neighbors. Nope, it starts with a dance scene. Probably one of the worst choreographed dance scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. And I watch a lot of Z grade films. Um, you get a bunch of people that I'm pretty sure I've seen in a lot of other Bruno Mattei films um, dancing. Remember Murder Rock and how like kind of impressive it was that they got some actually pretty cool dancing sequences in Murder Rock. Yeah, now you're not getting that in Night Killer. Uh, you can tell this was shot quickly because one, it pretty much has nothing to do with the rest of the film. It's obviously shot in a different location. Night Killer, the film, was shot in the United States. Uh, the scenes that Bruno Mattei did are 110% shot in Italy, uh, and it's so obvious. The cast that we see for the Bruno Mattei sequence, it's just really there's a scene, and this girl comes late for a dance class, which I'm not sure if it's a dance class or like they're if because if these people are performing, if this is them getting ready to perform on stage, oh man, this this musical is going to be shut down really quickly. So she goes upstairs to get ready, and we meet the titular character, the Night Killer, the guy with the Freddy Krueger morphed style mask. Frey, a good look at the mask. Look right here. See those? So he attacks her and uses his rubbery claws to somehow rip through her body and kind of like I think it's take her heart out type of thing. I'm not even joking. So again, picture this hand. Somehow that is ripping through her body and like taking her heart out. I don't know how, but it's doing it. So the first thing I thought about when I saw this movie is I'm not sure how many of you guys are like familiar with the show called book series and eventually a TV show called Goosebumps. So remember the haunted mask? Because it kind of reminds me of the haunted mask from the Goosebumps series. From the I think it was the first episode. Never thought that before, huh? It gets stuck in my head to tell you that. Also, anybody here a comic book or superhero or even superhero movie fan? Put your hands up if you are. And please hit the like button, by the way. It helps out a lot. Anybody at all? Because there's a superhero connection here. You know the haunted mask? If you ever thought, hey, I want to see the haunted mask, but a bit more sexual assaulty, welcome to Night Killer. Um, nobody, there's like nobody that watches watches superhero movies or reads comic books at all on this on in this stream. All right. Anyway, then let's just go with it. One of the stars of this film is Peter Hooton, and if that name doesn't sound familiar, and it's probably not going to, Peter Hooton is kind of like a he was Doctor Strange. No, not Benedict Cumberbatch. The original 1970s pilot TV movie Doctor Strange was actor Peter Hooton, and he is one of the stars of this movie. I can't tell you who his character is exactly, but because that's a twist. That's a there's a twist in the film. Because what we find out is that shortly after she gets out of, because the girl has no luck apparently. So shortly after she gets out of the hospital with her amnesia, she is picked up by another guy, played by Peter Hooton, who kidnaps her. Well, sort of. Well, basically, he he hits on her kind of really crudely. Hey there, Kubrick. Um, and then in a scene very reminiscent of a certain James Bond film, then best actor, that is Peter Hooton. The guy picks her up. That's Doctor Strange. That's the original Doctor Strange. Uh, so pretty much she's like on a beach with a blanket. She's playing this out apparently. Thank you, Josephine. I really enjoyed getting to go on. I'm honored to be able to come on like some of these podcasts on Just the Discs and and Cobwebs and VHUS. So thank you guys so much. It's been it's been once fantastic for the channel, and I really enjoy it because it's just a fun conversation. So she's got a bunch of pill bottles, like, and she's just sitting on there by the beach, just popping pills and drinking, drinking alcohol, kind of killing herself type of thing. But the guy that was crude to her before comes along, and he dumps her into the ocean and till she gets really cold and pukes out the pills and saves her. So you're thinking, well, okay, I guess maybe he was just being a little harsh before. Maybe he's not that bad of a guy. Maybe he's going to save her. This is going to be a romance. This is where we're going to go with this. So he takes her back with him because she's passed out, and she wakes up in his apartment. And there he proceeds to assault her and pretty much just say things along the lines of, "You can't kill yourself. I'll let you know when you're allowed to kill yourself." And works on getting the whole Stockholm Syndrome in. I'm not going to tell you too much more about the film, aside from you kind of got to see it. It's weird. The ending twists of the film, because there's a couple, are both hilarious and fascinating, and just super, super interesting. Night Killer is a really fun ride. It's different. It's unique. It's got a mostly like like an American cast. Um, when Claudio Fragasso did this film, he did it under his anglicized name that he used, which was Clyde Anderson. What's neat on here is that Severin put this one out, and there is an interview with Claudio Fragasso on it. It's really good, and there's an interview with Rosella Drudy as well, the screenwriter for the film, and it's really interesting. They both look at it from kind of different ways, and Fragasso even like says, like during the interview, that maybe it's time. Like he hasn't made many genre stuff, uh, like in the last little while. So he's like, maybe it's time to resurrect Clyde Anderson. Maybe Clyde Anderson has something to say again in the John world, and I'm all about that. I would have loved the commentary on this one too, but at least we got two good interviews. That's the thing. If sometimes Severin or like you'll seem kind of short because it'll be like one or two. Like there's not always a commentary. I find a lot more commentaries recently, um, but they'll have like interviews on there, and but the interviews are always usually pretty high quality. I gotta say, there's very rarely that are you gonna get bored with a Severin interview on any of their releases, and that's a stunningly amazing thing that I can say. I was kind of bummed that there wasn't like a soundtrack or anything with it, but I guess it really didn't need it. Uh, but here's the interior. There's no alternate artwork, I don't think. Nope. But if you've never seen Night Killer, oh, Josephine, family's always first. You have and it is a pleasure. You have a fantastic day there. You came in for the big stuff. You got the reveal and the streaming stuff and Night Killer stuff. I appreciate the kind words, by the way. It means a lot. And I love the artwork too, by the way. There's a pin of this. They have a pin. Severin put out a pin of this artwork. I need that pin. I definitely am going to grab that pin down the road. Nick Killer 4K UHD. You really think so? I think if Severin does anything with 4K, they're gonna go with their earlier stuff first. You're gonna see like stuff like their earlier, like Jess Franco's, their Bloody Moons, and their stuff like that. I would not even be surprised if they said, we're doing the Black Emmanuel series. Let's start with 4K with those. That would be a huge deal. Can you imagine that? We know that like it was hinted at with the Severin Cellar that the Black Emmanuel box set was coming out. Black Emmanuel was one of the early releases as box set wise from Severin. Have I ever done creature makeup prosthetics for any of my videos? Not for any of my videos. I do have a friend named Sheldon who lives in Newfoundland, and he's an extremely talented artist when it comes to stuff like that. So he is somebody that you would see do like would do that with that type of work. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to try and show you something anyway. Let's go to my peaches. Let's see if I can show you a picture here. Me with my friend Sheldon. Which I don't think I'm going to have on here. Which is a shame because I want to show you his work. Maybe I got it here. I think I do actually, so let me check and we will. I'm such a goofball. I'm looking at all the pictures that I've taken, like. I can't believe I can't find it. I had this here the other day too. Because I wanted to show it for a reason. Here we go. There's my good friend Sheldon as Jason Voorhees. And me as a victim. Keep asking me to go premium. So there you go. That's me as a victim. I've seen the Severin sticker for Night Killer. No, I haven't actually. I know that every time I do a Severin order, well, when I did the big Severin order there during the sale, there was like the option to get like these sticker packs, and I think when I did my Cruel Jaws bundle, I had the option again to get the sticker pack. It was still available. I was tempted to, but I didn't pick it up. I wanted one. I wouldn't mind having the Devil's Honey sticker actually. We'll talk about. I've talked about that film before, but I'll get into that again when I do a Franco video. Because Devil's Honey is still one of my favorites. One of my favorite Severin releases. Hey there, Richard. In North America, Richard, there's an app. There's an app for that. There's a Arrow Video app, which I'm going to be checking out tonight because tonight, like Night Killer, not so sure about Night Killer. Well, IB, it was named Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Am I Sax Man? There's a song, Sax Man. Okay, but I do like the sax. I can't play it though. Hey, Amy, welcome. AME, Arrow Video, They have a streaming service now, and they got Tetsu on there, and Sister Street Fighter, and a few other things. I would love to have had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre slipcover for this one, or Shocking Dark's Terminator 2 slipcover. I think you can see all the posters, right? But I don't think you can grab the I think slipcovers, like they're pretty much like with Cruel Jaws, for instance, $4.99 a month with the first month free. And for those that came in late, didn't see it, so this here is the Air Video streaming service. Everything from like a Gamera collection. There's a Looking Back at the Hills of Eyes. It's 54 minutes long. Ties That Bind, talking about Edition. There's a 30-minute thing on Edition here. There's From Edition to Vampire Girl, where they talk to the actress. Runs at 20 minutes long. When Ramiro Met Del Toro is a 55-minute long one. So a lot of fun stuff on there. And one thing I'll say is that streaming will never take the place of physical media, but it might make you buy more physical media. That's the one. That may be your one drawback. Now, for me, that's not a drawback. That's a plus. But for some people, that's a drawback. I have no musical talents, William. You play the sax. That's amazing. Like, I'm lucky I can play Rock Band. Well, you got the expensive streaming service, Kubrick. That's why you went for like Criterion was like $14 a month. Though it's cheaper than buying Criterion. Like Blu-ray, the Arrow is $4.99. But just get the free month. I'm a horrible winker. Hey there, Jason. Oh, how can you despise Shocking Dark, Dan? It's so fun and so weird, and it just goes like it's basically aliens. Like it's aliens too, all throughout the film. It's aliens. Then all of a sudden, it's like, guess what? It's also going to be Terminator. For $100 a year. That's not bad actually, considering like two Criterion releases cost me about $100. Not even joking. Like really, like Criterion releases here, like a lot of times are like they're 40 $50. Warlock knows, because I know Warlock's Canadian like me. So if you buy like you go to a store here in Canada, and you buy a Criterion release. It's if you're lucky to get it for like $35 or so. Most Criterion releases are going to cost you upwards between $45 to $50. I was extremely anti-streaming, but now I find that a good streaming service can bring more physical media collectors into our ranks, and you have to use it that way. I want people to want to collect more and to get excited about films. So I don't care if you get excited about films, as long as you get excited and you start buying them. Streaming's like think of streaming as a rental. It's like when you go to your Blockbuster. Well, when you used to go to your Blockbuster or your local mom and pop shop. It's good. It's fun. You kind of test the waters. You sort of find out what your a bit of what you like. Especially say if you're new into certain films or you're new into certain genres. It's a good way to test it. But as you start to develop your palate and decide what it is that you're like, what's really kind of clicking with you, those you're gonna want. Uh, it's not going to satisfy you to be able to see them every once in a while, or realize that, like with most streaming services, they're going to go. Um, just look at like Netflix. A lot of the movies, like TV shows, all this stuff, that they eventually go off there. They replaced with other things, and sometimes inferior. things, but you gotta. But it's a good way to get yourself in there. My kids are huge Asian film fans, Asian horror fans, Takatsu stuff like that. Uh, there was a time when Netflix had Battle Royale on their channel. It was when I was going to work one day. I told my daughter who walked in to work with me. I said, "You, if you can't go back to sleep, you can watch a movie." And she didn't know what to watch because she'd watched a few of the regular things. So why don't you try Battle Royale? It's a really good film. She did, and now she speaks some Japanese and does and is a really uh, an expert, definitely over me when it comes to Asian cinema. And buys a lot of releases as well as subscribing to Japanese television as well. Hey, they're missing. They're missing. Unstructured View just got the ability to start selling Shout Factory. My only issue with Unobstructed View, and this is the one thing that you have to work out. There's no way. It's because I want Unobstructed View to succeed. You need tracking numbers. Uh, in this day and age, if you're sending out films, you got to have tracking numbers. That's going to be the key thing for Unobstructed, and I do love Unobstructed. I want to be able to buy stuff from them, but I can't actually go out and buy stuff from them until I know that they're going to have tracking numbers with their releases, because that's important. I'd pay the extra dollar too for for tracking. Um, Pretty much every other company that puts stuff out does it through tracking numbers. So I would recommend if you ever talk to Unobstructed Warlock. I think you have a friend that works there. Let them know that that's the one thing. And I've spoke with other people that have been going to buy from Unobstructed View a couple times, and that's the one thing they're nervous about is that they can't track the shipments. Uh, Not much competition yet, Warlock. Not until we start our video. Do you own any Shriek Show releases? I actually do have a couple. Not a lot. I used to have quite a few, but I moved away. I moved, and when I moved, I sold off a lot of my stuff, and I didn't have a big, nothing like this. I had a small amount, but I had a lot of Shriek Show stuff, like the Majorettes and stuff like that. See, if you use my super chat, Kubrick, you would actually help that out because it would pop up on the screen. You're becoming satisfied with physical media and watching them over and over again. Look forward to blind buys. I do love blind buys. Oh yeah, all region. If you're looking at stuff, guys, go all region. All region is definitely the way to go. It will change the way that you collect things. I just recently watched Elliot Cohen, and he showed the the one for the strangers, like that. I think it was Second Sight that put out the strangers. I have the Scream Factory edition of the strangers, and it looks just like a regular Scream Factory release. But oh man, the other release for the strangers, the one that Second Sight put out, it's incredible. You're gonna watch as many regional horror? Yes, I love that. I love when somebody gets into regional horror. Regional horror is fantastic. If you got the Arrow video box sets, I recommend those. I do. They are really, really good. Of course, the William Gruffy one is coming out soon. I recommend that one as well. But the American Horror Projects, 100% recommend those because those are some great releases. Arrow as should be super proud of those. Kane's periodicals. I will be doing, hopefully, I'm going to try, and I'm still working on the quiz. So I'll try to let you guys know at least a day in advance for that. So, because I want to do, I think we'll have a lot of fun with the quiz. It'll be something fun and different to do during the 31 Days Horror. I'm trying to mix it up a bit, guys. Will we get an American Horror Project Volume 3? I do think we will, Anthony. I do think that in a way that the William Griffey box set, or Griff, I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. I pronounce a lot of names wrong. That's one thing I get used to on my channel. Is kind of like a director-centric box set that is that both works as American Horror Project kind of sub volume or volume 3 sort of. You could have easily made the William Griffey box set a American Horror Project box set. Exactly. No Googling. Well, I've gone the honor code. France Horror Project, German Horror. That'd be neat. Well, I am kind of choking here. You know what that means, don't you? All right. I apparently 100% have to get tea because my eyes are watering up. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. It's been fantastic. If you like this video, make sure that you hit the like button. I am choking here a little bit. Please share, subscribe. If you can, definitely check out my Patreon. We work really hard on it, both me and my better half now. I hope that it's coming across that I've really been like pushing hard and working like triple normal on my channel. It's a labor of love, and hopefully it continues to grow and all that fun stuff. And we get to have fun and talk here for much later. Anyway, I'm choking. I am Aaron. This is my movie library. You are the Cult of Cinema. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. I will see you guys soon. Check out Night Killer from Severin Films, Ghost Ship from Scream Factory, and Air Video streaming service. That's your jam. See you soon.